Good afternoon. It's day 2 of the Jack Grafmeier Memorial Tournament, and on the topic of 2, the Hill United Chiefs are 2-0 after a 5-inning, 7-0 victory earlier today as they downed the AHI Reapers by that 7-0 count. And at beautiful Sunset Park, where yes, the boats are out today, the fishing poles are definitely in fine working order on this beautiful Saturday late afternoon. The Midland Explorers will be the opponent of the Hill United Chiefs in their third of 4 round-robin games. This is the first of a back-to-back scenario, and we will set the batting order for you. It will look very different than the one earlier today. Alan Pecker, the star of Championship Saturday at last year's ISC World Tournament, to lead it off. Brad Ezekiel, who hit a bomb of a homer in the 7-0 victory in his number 2 spot. Nick Shales returns to the lineup, as does Tony Gonzalez. And Nick White, who had a marvelous 4-for-4 performance in the leadoff spot, will bat 9th for Jeff Ellsworth, John Stewart, John Hill, the coaching staff of the reigning ISC World Champion Hill United Chiefs. And they'll face a youngster in Valentin Mata from Argentina. And yes, if the name sounds familiar, certainly he is part of the Mata family. The leader of that group is longtime pitcher Wemel Mata. And great to have you with us as we are nicely underway. Game 3 of the event for the Chiefs. Alan Pecker did not participate in today's 7-0 victory against the AHI Reapers. Yesterday, in the 15-0, 3-inning win over Rays of Green Bay, he walked 3 times and scored twice. So he does not have an official at-bat as of yet this season. But no one will forget his final 3 games in Surrey, British Columbia last August 17th, when he went 6 for 9 with 4 home runs and 8 runs batted in. He lifts this one high to left as Manny Mendham circles around it and is able to record the out on Alan Pecker, who tries to drive that inside pitch the other direction, got under it. And Valentin Mata, who has pitched in a couple of World Under-18 championships for his home country of Argentina, records the game's first out. And here's Brad Ezekiel, a mammoth home run into the trees in left center that really solidified that 7-0 victory. Brad, so far in the tournament, which in the case of the Hill United Chiefs is the season, 3 for 4 with a home run and 4 runs batted in. And takes in the dirt from the young Mata for a ball. Ezekiel had a monster ISC World Tournament last year as well. He batted .360. He was 9 for 25 with 3 home runs and 6 runs batted in. His most important blow came off Jack Besgrove and the then-now Bear Creek Gremlins in the title game. And there's another hit up the middle off the bag, and Ezekiel made a big wide turn, thought for just a second about going to second, but held on. So the pride of Holyrood, Newfoundland has yet another hit here this weekend, as you see it go off the second base bag. All Nick Shales did yesterday in his season opener, the longtime veteran, playing at shortstop in this game today, was hit 2 home runs, go 3 for 3 with 5 runs batted in the 15-0 triumph over Rays. And Shales not cheated on that rise ball swing attempt. His second home run yesterday reached the parking lot past the right center field fence. Fouls that out of play. Going the other way. Nick, a 10-time All-World selection at the ISC World Tournament. One of the game's best for a long time. And guess what? Another hit for Shales. So back-to-back singles for Ezekiel and Shales have the Hill United Chiefs in business early. And this a heavily, heavily favored team to capture this Jack Grafmeier, longtime captain of the Argentina national team, has stepped away from those duties. Still swinging it well. He 1 for 4 so far in the tournament. Had a 2-run single earlier today against the AHI Reapers. This one lifted high in the air, backpedaling and making the catch at second is Paul Miklovic. And there are 2 away on the high pop-up off the bat of Matroni. Tony Gonzalez makes his way back into the lineup for this game. Head coach Jeff Ellsworth, one of the goals this weekend, first games in tournament for so many of these players. Everybody needing to get some at-bats, some defensive work. Pitchers will all get their innings before tomorrow's tournament comes to an end. There's a nice stab by Valentin Mata on a hard-hit ball up the middle. So a couple of hits, 2 are stranded. And we will set the Hill United Chiefs defensively when we return to Sunset Park in Kimberly, Wisconsin. Two hits, 2 left on base for the Chiefs in the top of the first, as will not only give you a beautiful look at this ballpark, and it is spectacular, but now to set things defensively for the Chiefs in this third of 4 round-robin games. In the outfield, Nick White, Brad Ezekiel, and Alan Pecker. Around the diamond, at third base, it's Blake Hunter, Nick Shales at shortstop today. Tony Gonzalez, the second baseman, and for a third straight game, it's Pipolo Lopez at first, Bruno Matroni behind the plate, and it's our first look of the season at Canadian national team member and a newcomer to the Hill United Chiefs, the 35-year-old from Grand Prairie, Nova Scotia, Justin Scoffield. And Scoffield had an excellent camp for Team Canada a few weeks ago in Florida and might be in as good a shape as he's ever been in entering a season. I will use this many times during the course of this Hill United season, but I think it's apropos where Justin Scoffield is concerned. He throws every pitch almost like it's his last, and I mean that in the most respectful, gracious way. He is a fierce competitor and really in so many ways credits the work that he was able to get done during COVID as what has allowed him to maybe be at the top or certainly near the top of his game for this 35-year-old as he delivers ball 1 to the leadoff batter, Paul Miklovic, the second baseman for the Explorers. Midland, by the way, 0 for 2 so far in the tournament. A pair of 10-5 losses today, first to the AHI Reapers, and then in the most recently played game, they fell by that same 10-5 count at the hands of Barbuzz, who will be the Chiefs' final round-robin opponent after this game is completed. As Schofield looks in at Matrone and fouled back for a strike. Thought during the course of last season, whether it was in ISC tournaments or performing for Canada at the World Cup qualifier in Prince Albert, he has really worked diligently on so many of his pitches, but his ability these days to get his changeup in key spots has been a real difference maker. He's going to stay towards the outside corner, and he brings it in that 81 to 83 type category in terms of miles per hour. Haven't seen what he's registering on the speed clock as of yet. And there is the high rise upstairs for strikeout number one. Schofield, last season, with Preston Sherman, Sherman is from Homer, Michigan, batted .306 in 2024. Including a couple of doubles, 2 homers, and 6 runs batted in. The Explorers went 1-2 at last year's ISC World Tournament in Surrey, British Columbia. And this gentleman homered in that event against the Steveston Canadians from British Columbia. 2 balls and a strike to Preston Sherman. He was a Kegel Black Knight in 2023. That team is currently leading the other pool of 5 teams with a record of 2-0. And could be on a collision course with the Chiefs in a title game tomorrow. But we've got a ways to go to get there. Schofield just missed the outside corner. And he thought he had it, and Bruno Matrone, the catcher, thought maybe he did too. So a runner on and a walk, and now the pitcher, it's Valentin Mata. Makes his way to home plate. So you know you're a good young player when you're a key pitcher at this age and on this Midland Explorers team, which has been around for a long, long time. Find yourself in the 3 spot in the lineup. As Argentina has really become a men's softball factory. On the way, trying to steal, and a great play just to try and catch it for Shales, but a stolen base. And then on the errant throw, Sherman, who can fly, moves all the way up to third. Shales did everything he could to come across, catch it, and make the tag, but not able to do it. So Hill United yet to give up a run in their first 2 games. Has a go-ahead run to deal with. 60 feet away at third base in the bottom of the first inning. A ball and a strike to Mata. And this time Schofield does paint the outside corner. The high rise ball has always been, in many ways, his bread and butter. But he has absolutely added a lot to that pitch and others in the last couple of years. And he rears back right there to send Valentin Mata to the dugout without number 2 and strikeout number 2. The location was excellent. Couldn't hand it to Matrone much better than that. And one of the 2 Wark brothers, this is Tony. Scoffield comes up and in with a big grunt. Tony's from Reese, Michigan. Only played in 4 games by my count last season with the Explorers. Drills this into the gap, and it's going to score the game's first run. Tony Wark, a well-hit double, has given the Midland Explorers a 1-0 advantage. He had a couple of hits and a double earlier today in a loss to the AHI Reapers, and has another extra base hit and run batted in this game. Early in the season, pitchers, batters trying to find a groove. So the speed on the base pass by Preston Sherman pays some dividends. And now it's left fielder Manny Mendham. Scoffield trying to find a rhythm here in the bottom half of the first inning. A strike on Mendham. 2 balls and 1 strike is the count. And the Scoffield trying to limit any more damage here in the bottom of the first as the Explorers have found the mark. And the Chiefs have surrendered their first run of this 2025 season. Beautiful day in Kimberly at this fantastic setting. Was so renowned for many years as a superb host of the ISC World Tournament. It was hard to get a spot here to find a place to watch a game in years gone by. Mendham facing a full count. And struck him out. 3 strikeouts, but a walk, a stolen base, and an error, and a double by Tony Wark have the Midland Explorers ahead of the Hill United Chiefs in their 3rd game of the Jack Grafmeier Memorial Tournament, 1-0 after 1.
Or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
For the first time early in this season, in just their 3rd game, and 3rd game of the event, the Hill United Chiefs find themselves in arrears. They trail 1-0 heading to the top of the 2nd inning. Valentin Mata did give up a couple of first inning singles, but able to get himself out of a jam. As Nanaimo, British Columbia's Blake Hunter leads things off. Hill United Chiefs newcomer in 2025 goes the other way with this, and it will make its way out of play down the right field side. So far in the tournament, Blake is 2 for 4. He's doubled and driven in 3 runs. the versatile Blake Hunter, who has earned a spot on Canada's national team for the upcoming World Cup of men's softball that starts in a month in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. He's off to a fine beginning. 3 for 5. He's doubled and he's driven in a couple of 3 for 5. He's doubled and he's driven in a couple of runs in the opening 2 games for the Hill United Chiefs. Last season hit .280 with 9 doubles, 5 home runs, and 22 runs batted in. This one, he'll flare it and it'll find some green. And Lopez shaking his head as he converses with Coach John Hill over at first. He was jammed, and it was his strength that fought that ball off over the head of the diving shortstop, Owen Lukens. So Lopez continues to swing it and find his way on base. There's Kyle Ezekiel. Had his first hit of the season late in the game earlier today in the 7-0 triumph over the AHI Reapers. Drops down a beautiful bunt. Well executed by Kyle Ezekiel. You do not see a lot of sacrifice bunting in this day and age amongst the most high-level teams, but your ability to do it in key situations still really matters, and you can't lay it down any better than Kyle Ezekiel just did right there. And Nick White steps into the batter's box. How's Nick's weekend going? I would suggest pretty well. He's 5 for 5. A perfect 4 for 4 against the Reapers with a couple of stolen bases, a run batted in, has 2 runs batted in the tournament. So the 21-year-old from Truro, Nova Scotia, off to a great beginning. And he has a chance to cash in a couple right here with his team trailing. And showed good plate discipline that time to stay off the low rise from Valentin Mata. 1 out, runners at second and third. And takes a strike. 3 balls and a strike to White, who was in the leadoff spot, went 4 and 4, and then finds himself in the 9 spot. Joking about that with head coach Jeff Ellsworth, and not a hit this time, but on base again is Nick White, this time with a walk. And the bases are loaded for ISC World Tournament here, World Cup of Softball. A lot of speed, power, everything you would want the Hill United Chiefs can throw at you. Pecker drills it. 1 hops it to the fence. It's going to score at least 2. Here comes White flying around third. Alan Pecker has a 3-run triple. And the Hill United Chiefs waste little time erasing a 1-0 deficit. As Pecker has his first hit of 2025 and cashes in 3 runs in the process. And if you're the Hill United Chiefs, you just hope that type of trend continues. And now it's Ezekiel. He has a hit in the game. Alan Pecker drills the liner, one hop to the fence, and clears the bags. And 1-0 is turned into a 3-1 advantage for the Chiefs. These are great opportunities for a young pitcher like Valentin Mata to face this type of a lineup. Does not look overwhelmed. Ezekiel this time goes the other way with it. And he's cashed in another run and has yet another hit. In my opinion, one of the best to ever do it. 2 for 2 and another run batted in. And the lead is 4-1. And that was a classic case of quality hitting. And this is what the Hill United Chiefs lineup can do. And it's very much expected this weekend. Even though it is their first action of 2025. Shales, get out of here. And it did. Nick Shales has his third home run of the Jack Grafmeier Memorial Tournament. This one to straightaway center. And the Australian, who now calls Waterdown, Ontario home, gets the home run hat. You leave it in the middle, and you might find it in a bad spot. Nick Shales' third home run in 2 games. Quite a start for a gentleman who really broke onto the scene all the way back, playing for his home country of Australia in 2009 when he helped the Aussies win their first ever world men's title in Saskatoon. Showing you early this season why he's a 10-time all-world member at the IFC as Matroni will fly out. Good running catch and right by Boucher. And there's 2 away as the Chiefs have exploded for 6 in inning number 2. Tony Gonzalez. Grounded back to the pitcher to end the first. Very rarely does this gentleman not put a ball in play with some authority. I've really enjoyed watching him hit. The 35-year-old, another player from Tijuana, Mexico. And this one has a chance, too. Does it have enough? Not quite. Boucher at the fence to take one away from Gonzalez, but not before. The Chiefs strike for 6 and lead it by 5 here in Kimberley. Well, Justin Scoffield in a different spot. as he returns to the circle in his first innings of work in 2025. Left trailing by a run. Now his team has provided him 6 runs. Nick Shales with a 2-run homer. And what started the party was a bases-loaded triple off the bat of Alan Pecker. (6-1) Chiefs as they look to run their tournament record to a perfect 3-0. Owen Lukens, the shortstop, the batter for Midland. He's from Williamsport, Pennsylvania, home of a very special baseball event. The Little League World Series is held there every year. He batted .083 last year with a double and 5 runs batted in. He already has a 2-hit game here at the Jack Grafmeier Memorial. He did that in an earlier loss today to the AHI Reapers, as Midland losing 10-5 in both their games. Midland, the lone team, playing all 4 round-robin games on this Saturday. They did not participate in a game yesterday. And Scoffield delivers a strike right at the letters of Owen Lukens. Ball and 2 strikes. And Scoffield just misses away. A 3rd win for the Chiefs. Will guarantee them a spot in the semifinals and move them very close to being number 1 in their group of 5 teams. There's another group of 5 teams playing mostly on diamond number 2, which is up the hill from us here. I can kind of see it from my broadcast location, but it's really tucked away when you drive in here. Have to go up and take a peek at some point. Haven't really had an opportunity to do that yet. You can tell by the body language that Scoffield looking to really get in the groove, and when he does, forget it. But he'll start with a pass, and Lukens aboard to begin the bottom of the 2nd. And this is Shane Wark, the first baseman. And he fouls that off. And Scoffield was a member of the Bear Creek Express last year. And if you ever spend any time chatting with this gentleman, which I could do for days on end, he's just such an engaging person. You know, no one is harder on him than him. Good movement on that pitch. Watch the action here. Starts at the corner and then moves beautifully late. And that's such a key in this sport. Late movement. There's the change that I mentioned earlier in the broadcast. When he gets that over in good locations to go along with all the hard stuff, he's difficult to hit. So 1 out, his 4th strikeout, and a foul away by catcher Taylor O'Leary. Lukens, the base runner, after the walk at first. Scoffield comes inside and misses in. 6-1, all 6 runs in the top of the inning. You always would love to put up a 0 right after. This is certainly Schofield's game to take the ball and run with it. It's a warm afternoon. Here in Kimberly. And a great change. Superb changeup. Certainly that's how it looks from the press box, and that's exactly the case. And again, the down movement late. So back-to-back strikeouts for Schofield, and he faces the right fielder, Griffin Boucher. Schofield will once again represent Canada at the World Cup of Softball. He had a very solid qualifying tournament performance last summer in Prince Albert, where Canada ended up in 3rd behind Argentina and New Zealand. But Canada didn't go with all of their best players. And there is a 3rd strike looking. So after giving up the pass, Schofield responds with strikeouts 4, 5, and 6. And through 2, the Hill United Chiefs in command, leading 6-1 as they try to go a perfect 3-0 in Kimberly, Wisconsin.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
6-1, 2 innings in the books. Is the Hill United Chiefs right here. You can catch all their action this season on Softball Premier TV. Excited to bring you all the action of this first tournament in the inaugural event with Softball Premier TV and their association with the Hill United Chiefs. My name is Peter Lubardius. A pleasure to bring you all the action this weekend. Blake Hunter has a hit and has scored a run. A 6-run second for the Chiefs. As Hunter takes down and in. And ahead in the count. Has a hit in all 3 games. And now 3 for 5 in the tournament. Hit .234 last season as a member of the then New York, now Bear Creek Gremlins, as they have changed sponsorship. And Hunter finds himself aboard with a leadoff walk here in the third. Pipolo Lopez. He singled and scored in the second. Now 4 for 6 in the tournament. Check swing. They ask. And the answer is no on the check swing. So a ball to Lopez. He hit .286 at last year's ISC World Tournament in Surrey, including a double, a triple, and a run batted in. Most important hit came in a playoff game on Championship Saturday in a victory over the Northeast Drillers. And the Drillers, once again, have a terrific lineup in 2025. Next weekend, we'll be on the air from Mitchell, Ontario. And the field of 6 teams in that event is superb. As good as it gets. As back-to-back walks issued by Valentin Mata to begin the third. And Kyle Ezekiel, who laid down a beautiful sacrifice bunt his first time up, that helped lead to a 6-run second inning, is back at home plate. On one hop, and Tony Wark able to retire. Kyle Ezekiel, the 2 runners, Hunter and Pipolo Lopez, able to move up. Not really an opportunity. Didn't really look towards third, but I think he made the right play. You want to take an out, and Nick White has finally made an out this weekend. First time. Was 5 for 5 with a walk prior to that at bat as he pops up back to the pitcher for out number 2. And here's the gentleman that broke it open, down 1-0 in the last inning. Alan Pecker cleared the bags with a 3-run triple. He missed a lot of time last year with an injury. Was not healthy enough to help Argentina qualify for the World Cup, but will be on the national team once again in a month. Lifted high, Boucher on. And the sun can be tricky out there at this time of day. Give Valentin Mata credit. Back-to-back walks to begin, but then recorded 3 straight outs. It's a nice place to watch a ball game. It remains 6-1. Top of the order is where the Midland Explorers are in their order, with second baseman Paul Miklovic to face Justin Scoffield, who has 6 strikeouts in his first 2 innings of work in this 2025 season. Starts with a change and misses outside. And Miklovic, one of the 6 batters in the Explorers lineup that went down on strikes. He is from Munger, Michigan. Paul Miklovic batted .241 for the Explorers in 2024. Was 1 for 8 at the ISC World Tournament. Oh, Bruno Matroni can't believe that wasn't a strike, as he took a big, quick turn back towards the home plate umpire. Two balls and a strike to Miklovic in a 6-1 Chiefs lead. And Scoffield upset at himself as he taps himself in the chest and says, "That's on me." Trying to get the high rise in a spot that he wanted. That is the only hit that Scoffield has given up so far in the ball game. And Bruno Matroni is going to go out to see his pitcher. Now, Tony Gonzalez goes out there too. And probably the most important thing to note about that is, of all the Spanish-speaking players, and there are a number of them on this Hill United Chiefs team, Tony Gonzalez has the best English. So in many ways, he will act as a bit of a translator between the two languages. And Scoffield sets himself after the wild pitch allowed Miklovic to move up to second. Preston Sherman, the batter. Hit .306 last season with the Explorers and had a pretty good cut right there. Two balls and 2 strikes, nobody out, in a 6-1 lead on the bottom of the third. The Chiefs to face Barbuzz in their final game of the day when this one is completed. Strikeout swinging, and strikeout number 7 for Scoffield. Pitcher versus pitcher in this case, as back to the plate comes Valentin Mata. And he struck out earlier. That is the only way that Scoffield has recorded outs in the game, by way of strikeout. All 7 of them. Last season, Justin Scoffield at 152 strikeouts in 85 2/3 innings. Had another 38 strikeouts in 17 and 2/3, playing with Canada at a World Cup qualifier. Quick throw back by Matrone, and it was a pretty good throw, but it got away from Gonzalez. You can tell is upset with himself. Tried to get Miklovic. Quick snap throw from the veteran catcher. But gets away. As the Explorers looking to chip away at this large deficit. And that's the pitch. It can be very difficult on a left-handed batter. That late curve movement on the outside corner that looks like it's going to be a ball. Mata got around on that. Read that one well and was on it early, but pulled it well foul. Asks about the count, and it is indeed a ball and 2 strikes. Would love the strikeout, obviously, if he can get it here with a runner at third and less than 2 out. Won't get it. Lopez. Did he get to the bag? Just in time. Got to the corner of it. And did well enough to hold the runner at the same time. As we feast our peepers, fakes, looks, steps. Just got there. So the first out recorded in the game that was not by way of strikeout. And Pipolo Lopez handled it well. The lone hit for the Midland Explorers belongs to the guy at home plate, Tony Wark, the third baseman who ripped a double into left center to cash in the game's first run back in the bottom of the first. But Hill United responded with 6 of their own in the top of the second. Change up on the outside corner. As Scoffield, in many ways, has found himself in a battle every half inning here. And working ahead this time on Wark. No balls and 2 strikes. See where he goes here. Goes away and up. And executed well. Strikeout number 8. After issuing a leadoff walk, again rears back and shuts the door. It remains 6-1 Hill United as we've completed 3 at lovely Sunset Park in Kimberly, Wisconsin.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca.
Brad Ezekiel, 2 for 2 in the game, has another run batted in, has scored a run, 5 for 6 to start the season, and a hit taken away from him this time by Tony Work, who ranged to his left to take a hit away from number 11. It's a fine defensive play by Work, and there's quickly one away. Nick Shales, 3 home runs already here in Kimberley, including a 2-run blast his last time. This one will go, and those are high standards when you're one of the best in the business and have standards when you're one of the best in the business and have been for a long time. Had just one hit and swinging it well here in his opening weekend. Of 2025. To put it mildly. 2 for 2 today and make it 3 for 3 for Nick Shales. 2 singles and a 2-run homer. Playing in this game at shortstop. So he's now 6 for 6 to start 2025 with 3 home runs and 7 runs batted in. That's a season for some. Bruno Matroni has made a couple of outs, but has hit it pretty well. Certainly his last time up, flying out to right. 1 for 6 in the tournament. And takes up and away from Valentin Mata, who's gone the distance for the Midland Explorers. A team coming into pool play that would have expected to push for potentially second place in the group. But their loss back-to-back have all but eliminated them from playoff contention, as they've just given up too many runs today. 10 in each game. And a walk for Matroni with 1 out. Tony Gonzalez. He's hard not to like Tony Gonzalez. Played internationally for his home country of Mexico. Last appearance was at the 2019 World Championship in Prague. And had a great moment there. A game-winning hit over New Zealand in that event. Gets into this one. And it is long gone. Tony Gonzalez tells that ball to get out of here. A 3-run shot for Gonzalez. And it's 9-1. Just like at the local drive-thru. Can we get that to go? That one went a long way. So a 3-run homer by Gonzalez. Blake Hunter back at home plate. He's been on base twice, once on a walk and the other a single in the 6-run second inning. Two balls and a strike to Blake Hunter here in the top of the 4th. And a 9-1 Chiefs advantage now. And good discipline at the plate as Hunter has been on base 3 consecutive times this afternoon. Second straight walk. And is the skipper, Craig Scott, going to make a change? Looks like he just might do that. So we'll take a quick timeout. Tony Gonzalez, a 3-run blast to left center, has added to the lead. It's 9-1 for the Hill United Chiefs on the home of the Hill United Chiefs, Softball Premier TV. So no pitching change, just a conversation. And Valentin Mata stays in the game. The only way you get better when dealing with high-end world-class people is to go through the reps. And that is what he is doing. The youngster from Argentina in dealing with this vaunted Hill United Chiefs group. Piccolo Lopez, the batter, and rips that into right field for yet another hit for number 9. And he is up to 5 hits now on the weekend in 7 tries. So a big start to 2025 for Piccolo Lopez. And runners now at first and second with only 1 out. Pulled high in the air and foul. This one on the left side of the diamond. Been a lot of fouls toward the other side in this game. There's Kyle Ezekiel back in home plate. 0 for 1 officially in the game with a sacrifice bunt, and that Mata pitch gets away from catcher Taylor O'Leary. And a couple more, I believe, would give Hill United a chance to shorten this game. As they have one more left to play when this one is all said and done against Barbuz. Kyle Ezekiel to the gap. And there comes 2 more runs on his RBI double to left center. And it's 11-1. And that's what this lineup can do. Nick White up the middle always has a chance when you run the way he does, but Miklovic fields it well and makes a strong throw, and there are 2 away. So after going 5 for 5 to begin the event, Nick White has made back-to-back outs. Alan Pecker. Mendham takes care of it, and the inning comes to an end. However, not before Hill United scores 5 more runs, including a Tony Gonzalez 3-run homer to left center. And Hill United in a position, I believe, to close it out when we return to Sunset Park. Eleven runs on 9 hits. A 3-run triple, a couple of home runs, including a 3-run homer in a 5-run 4th inning off the bat of Tony Gonzalez. Nick Shales has homered again for the 3rd time in the tournament in his first 2 games of action, and it's 11-1. And left fielder Manny Mendham steps in to face Justin Scoffield, who's given up 1 hit, 1 run, and has 8 strikeouts to his credit. Comes right back with that change. Ball and a strike to Mendham, who struck out to end the first. And another pitch that both Schofield and Matrone wanted. 2 balls and a strike. Mendham fouled that back to even the count at 2-2. Schofield last season with a number of 10 strikeout games or more in his season with both the Bear Creek Express and the Canadian national team. At the World Cup qualifier, he had a 13 strikeout game in 5 innings against Hong Kong and a 12 strikeout game in 5 innings versus Singapore. And has strikeout number 9 to open up the bottom of the 4th inning. Owen Lukens, the shortstop, the batter. And the change starts this at-bat. Don't know exactly how many pitches Schofield has thrown. We'll try and check that quickly. Thanks to our friends at Game Changer. "62 pitches so far in the game for Schofield. And pitch 63 is perfectly placed on the outside corner for strikeout number 10 of the contest. And we'll see if this is it. Now, there can be discrepancy between the ISC run rule and that in international competition. I know there was some work in process in the off-season to potentially make them the same. But we'll find out very soon if no more runs cross for Midland, if this game will continue or come to a completion. Shane Wark trying to keep it rolling for the Explorers, who are very close to going 0 for 3 to start this Jack Grafmeier Memorial. The change up. Wark's ahead of that pitch. Quick turnaround for the Chiefs. They'll have their doubleheader. Back-to-back games against Barbuzz next. Originally slated to begin at 7. High and up and well out of the zone that time. "40 of the 66 pitches that Schofield has thrown today have been strikes. And there is strike 3. And there is the ball game. So 6 in the second, 5 more in the fourth, and it's a 4-inning, 11-1 triumph for the Chiefs, who run the record to a perfect 3-0. Big hits and a solid 4 innings of work for Justin Schofield. We'll leave you for about a half an hour and be back with our final round-robin game of this event in Kimberly, Wisconsin, when they take on Barbuzz a short time from now. And for now, so long from Sunset Park.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
For the latest in soft, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on Softball Premier.